Hi everyone, welcome back to EndIsEnglishNotes.com, where in this video we're going to look at Act 1, Scene 4 from Romeo and Juliet. Okay, so they're going to the masquerade feast. Okay, so Romeo, Benvolio and Mercutio are getting ready to go to the feast that they have been invited to under false pretenses. Peter the servant, you'll remember, couldn't read. He met Benvolio and Romeo and asked him to read the names and said, provided they were not Montagues, they could go to the party. Okay, so Romeo spotted Rosaline's name, so that's why he wanted to go. Benvolio wanted to go to show, to highlight how other women would make him forget about Rosaline. So two different reasons for going. So they're going to the feast anyway. Okay, so Benvolio, Mercutio, and Romeo gather with other partygoers as they make their way towards the feast. Romeo is worried about them being caught as they are clearly not welcome at the Capulet feast. Romeo tells Benvolio he can't dance as he is a soul of lead. Okay, a metaphor there. He's basically saying he feels like he's been weighed down. You often hear people saying that they have the weight of the world on their shoulders, which is a metaphor as well. So it's basically saying he feels heavy. Okay, he feels like he's been weighed down, and it's his love for Rosaline and his heartbreak over Rosaline that's weighing him down. So he can't dance because he has a soul of lead. And a series of metaphors and similes describing love. Romeo tells us that love is too rough, too rude, and pricks like thorn. So we see a very negative attitude towards love here from Romeo because it's unrequited love. Rosaline doesn't love him back. Okay, so he sees love in a very negative way because of what it is doing to his emotions. Mercutio begins a long-winded speech about Queen Mab before Romeo tells him to be quiet. It's a feature of Mercutio. You notice that he goes on these long-winded speeches and eventually someone has to tell him to be quiet. Okay, Romeo has a premonition. So a premonition is where you get a bad feeling about something. And premonitions in films and in books and in plays are generally a form of foreshadowing, hinting that something bad is going to happen. So what sort of premonition does Romeo have? Before he goes into the party, Romeo tells the audience that he has a bad feeling about the party, and by going, he thinks that he is putting his life in danger. Okay, so he gets this feeling that something's going to happen at the party that will put his life in danger. Again, constantly foreshadowing events that may happen throughout the play. For my mind must give some consequence yet hanging in the stars, shall bitterly begin his fearful date with this night's revels. Now, the key word here is consequence hanging in the stars. You'll remember from the prologue that Romeo and Juliet were described as star-crossed lovers, which basically meant that fate was going to bring them together, or destiny was going to bring them together. So he believes that there's some consequence that is yet is hanging in the stars, that fate is going to bring him to this party and set off some chain of events that will lead to a danger put on his life. But he that hath the steerage of my course direct my sail. So towards the end of he basically is putting his hands in fate, and he said, well, what's to be is to be. He said, he that hath the steerage of my course. So whoever is steering my course. So Romeo obviously believes in fate, and he said whoever's, whether it's God or whoever it is pulling the strings and directing his life. He's basically saying that he can direct him, and he directs him towards the party. So Romeo is saying that he knows that something bad is going to happen, but he's going to let fate take its course. Again, we see foreshadowing at work here with the playwright hinting that something bad is going to happen because of the actions of Romeo tonight. Okay, so foreshadowing used frequently by Shakespeare here. Again, keeps the audience on their toes, makes them think that something might happen. Okay, so very quick scene there again. So if you like, please hit the like button and subscribe for further videos. Also go to EndIsEnglishNotes.com where you'll find loads of great resources. Thank you.